coming upon the famous Atlantic. It's the area of the Washington Mall in which Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his famous speech at on August 28th. It's a portion of the area where the reflection pool is at. It's called the Atlantic. Check it out, y'all. Sweet. Check that out. Yeah, the Atlantic. Sweet in the mind. It's all historical monuments, you know, built off the backs of hundreds of years of slavery of my forefathers. It's one of the reasons I come down here to see exactly what type of work they really put in to build this place up to make it what it became. So-called great nation. It is a great historical nation. You know. Look what I found over here. Look at this. Look at that. State of Michigan, represented Detroit, Lansing, Jacktown, Kazoo. Oh, this is beautiful though. Yeah, it's beautiful. Fresh to death, actually. The Atlantic. Alright, we're gonna go over here so you can look at the reflection pool. So Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his speech at. See that? Well, over 250,000 people gathered to hear the Dr. Martin Luther King speech, deliver his speech. We're gonna get right up on it though. You know, because HAKIM is here today. Look at the airplane right there. Airport right around the corner. HAKIM is here today though. You know what I'm saying? I'm here today to give voice to it all. Because, you know, nearly 40 years ago, I was born into this nation. My soul was time wasted, spent, battered and abused. I ain't never lost much except for freedom. I stand now before you in the pinnacles of freedom, the place in which freedom resides, in which freedom dwells, and yet here I am, my soul bespeaks and cries in which I have not found that freedom. Though I walk without shackles and bonds, I am still in bondage though, because deep inside my heart and in my mind, there are so many entangled slavery, shackles, bondages, those things that captivate the mind and captivate the soul and captivate the mentality, those things that take the soul and take the mind and take the body and imprison it in ideas, images, psychological enslavements. Yeah, I'm walking upon this pool. I'm gonna pick that thought back up though. I want you to take a look at this though. It's the spot right here. You know, it's Martin Luther King delivered his speech at. It's what hundreds of thousands of people gathered to hear the minister. Hear the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. See the ellipsis right there? Yeah, I'm on the shores of it all. As I said, my freedom came at a price I hated to pay. If I was in them streets, selling dope, carrying them pistols and gun slanging and banging, you know, kind of like those things that those young black thugs do. You know, I was kind of like raised in the housing projects, you know. I ain't never had much to give, but I had a whole lot to take, so I took. I robbed and raped my own people, robbed and raped them of their own sensuality of freedom, the sense of enlivenment, because I was out there selling dope, selling packages to my own people just to get by, just to make something out of my own self. But yeah, I didn't have no self. I didn't know who myself was. Myself was entangled inside a web of demented mentality, enslaved mentality, street mentality, thinking I was above and beyond the galaxies, and yet I was trapped here inside this earth bound by visions of my own weaknesses, and trapped inside a maze of self-discovery that I could not find. And yet when I found it, I was already in prison, inside the shackles and bondages of prison, sitting inside those places that many people survive through, and yet I survived. I stand before you speaking words poetically inspired, using words that I can only admire. Why? Because inside my soul, that which I speak about much is me. Can you see me? Yeah. Check this out. Ooh, there's another plane. Yeah, that's where the minister spoke at though, y'all. I want to go all the way up here. I want to see exactly where the doctor stood and delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech. I might got a dream of my own, you know? Very few of us get a chance to walk these shores right here with the young ducks. I say very few of us because people like myself, coming from the streets, you know, believing that the only thing that we have is what we had, and we didn't have much. You know, we was kind of like incarcerated inside, you know, street blocks, inside a mentality of streets, you know. And people like that really don't get to travel far in life, you know, so it's a blessing. And it's an honor for me to come here. Not because this is the seat of the presidency, the seat of the capital of the nation, but it's a historical time. President Barack Obama, black African-American president, sits in the Oval Office today. You know, regardless of how we feel about that, about whether we agree with him or if he's for the people, or if he, you know, that's beside the point. You know, the point is that African Americans have opportunities today, you know, that we didn't have 60 years ago, 50 years ago, 30 years ago. And it's not to say that we have attained any real measure of freedom, but we have attained a little something. And there's blacks in high powers of positions in this society today. But, you know, that's not really going to make a difference. The difference comes within, when each one of us, you know, takes our rightful place within our own families, within our own communities, and strives to make a change and a difference, you know, for ourselves. All the while, you know, maintaining a sense of identity, a sense of cultural connection, because we lost so much. We lost a lot in all actuality. Pretty much we lost everything, you know. But yeah, it's a great distinction to be here in Washington, D.C., you know, because it was built upon the backs of our ancestors, you know, who put in, you know, unrewarded work, uncompensated work, you know, and they wasn't, very few of them was remembered for the work they did, very few. So I'm trying to put in work to reap the rewards and benefits of those that went before me, trying to make sense of a lot of different things inside myself, you know. I have a song on my album, Memoirs of Neil Soul Poet, called My Story, and it's missing some chapters. I'm making new chapters every day, but it's something that I never really got a chance to address that is pertinent right now while I'm here in D.C. with the President Barack Obama, who is multicultural, black and white. I myself of parentage of African American father and a Caucasian mother, and there's a lot of psychological, you know, cultural ramifications behind being raised like that. And a lot of people, you know, we don't really think about those things unless they affect us directly. And even those of us that are affected directly, such as myself, we rarely ever speak on it. So I'm speaking on it today because there's so many things of the color complex, you know, the internal racism within our own community, you know, having a sense of whose side are you on or what side do you belong to. If you identify with being black, are you rejecting your white ancestry? You know, all those different kinds of subjects and questions come into play. Very few of us talk about them. In a book I wrote, I actually did talk about it. A book called Little Brown Bear, Looking Through the Eyes of a Biracial Child Raised in Black America. But we're going to explore that and put that out there for the public at another time. Right now, I want to go up here to where the doc spoke. Check it out, y'all. It's where it took place at. Right here. I'm here. You know? Let's get up close and personal. I'm at this joint. Look behind me. Look. That's where the doc spoke at, right here. Along the reflection pool. Now I'm here today. You know? HAKIM signing out. Dream Team Television Entertainment. Peace.